Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and today I'm gonna take you book shopping. So I have watched a lot of come book shopping with me videos and I wanted to do my own for a really long time. The weather in Montreal, today it's not that good, but the weather in Montreal was really good for a couple of the days. It was like 35 degrees. I was vibing. I was sweating for sure. What I wanted to do was an independent bookstore tour around Montreal. To do that, because downtown and the areas where independent bookstores tend to be hard for parking. So I wanted to walk the entire trip. In order to do that, I needed to have nice weather. And one day last month, by the time you're seeing this, there was really nice weather. So I rallied up my best friend, forced her to come with me. She bought some books too. And I will put the footage of the bookstores that we went to, and then we'll come back together and then I'll go over the books that I bought. Welcome back. I don't know how the B-roll footage looked. I filmed this quite a bit of time ago, but I hope you enjoyed it for what it was. So the first bookstore we went to is a bookstore called Drawn and Quarterly. It is in the Mile End neighborhood of Montreal. A lot of breweries, a lot of bars. It's a very hip and happening neighborhood. Drawn and Quarterly mainly focuses on comic book literature. They are a comic book publisher here in Montreal, but they do sell some books. So when we were there, I got When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. This is a book that I have been keenly interested in. It sounds right up my alley. So when I saw it there, I knew it was the one I had to get. So Alex Green lives in a world much like ours, except for its most seminal event, the mass dragoning of 1955, when hundreds of thousands of women sprouted wings, scales, and talons and took to the skies. Was it their choice? What became of those left behind? Why did Alex's beloved Aunt Marla transform, but her mother didn't? Alex doesn't know. It's taboo to speak of. I've heard really good things about this book. I think it's going to tackle a lot of interesting subjects, so I am definitely keen to pick this up. Drawn and Quarterly also provided a little bookmark, and it has their little design, which I think is so cute. After that, we stopped at Stiil Books. Something that I noticed with this bookstore is that they had a lot of translated fiction. In fact, they had an entire section devoted to that. It is also located in the Plateau Mile End areas. So again, lots of vibes. The fact that they have an entire section devoted to translated literature, I knew that I had to pick something up. I've been seeing quite a bit of people read The Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizo, and apparently it's really good. I think it's been recently translated translated, but this book was written, I believe, in 1973. Yeah, first published in Japan in 1973. So I definitely want to read this. A lot of people say it's giving like Agatha Christie vibes. I want to get more into murder. Murder. I don't want to get more into murder. I want to get more into mystery novels. It's definitely not a genre that I really tackle often. So I definitely am excited to start with what seems to be one of the better mystery novels that have been translated in the last couple of years. In the winter of 1937, the village of Okamura is abuzz with excitement over the forthcoming Ichiyanagi wedding. But amid the gossip, there is also a worrying rumor. It seems a sinister masked man has been asking questions around the village. Then on the night of the wedding, the Ichiyanagi household are woken by a terrible scream, followed by the sound of eerie music. Death has come to Okamura, leaving no trace but a bloody samurai sword thrust into the pristine snow outside of the house. Sounds amazing to me. They also provided us with a bookmark, and I guess this is cute, like little notes that you're having while you're reading. The next book we stopped by at was in the gay village part of Montreal, and it is called Le Galion. This is a primarily feminist bookstore, but obviously it's extremely intersectional. I wanted to go there and support some LGBTQIA plus authors. So the first book I got was The Subtweet by Vivek Shraya. I read one of her books called I Am Afraid of Men, and I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed specifically Vivek's writing and the way that she told her story. This has been on my radar since I read that book in 2019, 2020. When was this one published? Because I feel like I read I Am Afraid of Men that year. Yeah, 2020. So I've definitely heard about this for 3 years. It's definitely been on my TBR, something I needed to purchase for 3 years. This follows an indie musician, Neela Devaki, who has built a career writing the songs she wants to hear, but nobody else is singing. When one of Neela's songs is covered by internet artist Rukmini and becomes a viral sensation, the two musicians meet and a transformative friendship begins. But before long, the systemic pressures that pit women against one another begin to bear down on Neela and Rukmini, stirring up self-doubt and jealousy. With a single tweet, their friendship implodes. A career is destroyed, and the two women find themselves at the center of an internet firestorm. So this seems to be Vivek Shraya's second novel, and I'm just so excited to read this. I have a feeling that it's going to be really, really amazing, and I definitely want to pick it up. After that, I picked up a book that I have heard about, but I don't know if anybody's really read it or I've heard any reviews about it, but it's Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl by Andrea Lawler. It's 1993, and Paul Polydorus tends bar at the only gay club in a university town buzzing with politics and partying, has a lesbian best friend, makes zines, and has a rich dating life. But Paul's also got a secret. He is a shapeshifter. Oscillating wildly from riot girl to leather club, Paul transforms his body and his gender at will as he crosses the country. A journey and adventure through the deep queer archives of struggle and pleasure. So again, I don't know much, but I think this will have some interesting discussions on gender, and I'm very looking forward to picking up from both of these books soon. After that bookstore, we walked to the St-Henri neighborhood, which is more of a quiet neighborhood, more of our hipper restaurants, but definitely in a more like secluded and quiet type of neighborhood. And we went to librairie St-Henri, which is beautiful, and I absolutely love it. I know that they do a wine and reading night, so I am keen to go see that. So when we were talking to the owner of the bookstore, he was mentioning that he did an interview with Otessa Moshfegh that week, and I felt like it was a sign. I felt like I needed to pick up my first Otessa Moshfegh, and it is Aileen. When I asked him which one to pick, should I pick up My Year of Rest and Relaxation? Should I pick up Homesick for a New World? He mentioned that her debut book was excellent, and that if I like fucked up unhinged women, I should read it, and that's definitely up my alley. So the Christmas season offers little cheer for Eileen, a young woman trapped between her role as her alcoholic father's caretaker in a home whose squalor is the talk of the neighborhood, and her day job as a secretary at the boys' prison, filled with its own horrors. Consumed by resentment and self-loathing, Eileen dreams of escaping to the big city. In the meantime, she fills her nights and weekends with shoplifting, stalking a buff prison guard named Brandy, and cleaning up her increasingly deranged father's messes. So this seems really interesting, really fascinating, and hopefully I really enjoy it so that I can pick up more from Otessa Moshfegh. And then going along the train of unhinged women, which was definitely the vibe that I was going for, learning that one of the most prolific unhinged women writers was interviewed, I picked up Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. So exiled from the art world and on a sabbatical from her dead-end bar job, Irina obsessively takes explicit photographs of the average-looking men she persuades to model for her, scouted from the streets of Newcastle. But her talent has not gone unnoticed, and Irina is invited to display her work at a fashionable London gallery. It is a chance to revive her career and escape from the rut of drugs, alcohol, and extreme cinema she's fallen into. Yet the news instead triggers a self-destructive tailspin centered around Irina's consuming relationship with her best friend and a shy young man from her local supermarket who has attracted her attention. They both sound really, really good, and this is the bookmark that they give us. Really cute, nice design. And finally, the last bookstore I went to, I'm a bit biased about. It is the Saga bookstore located in the NDG neighborhood of Montreal. It is owned by one of my friends, so I'm a bit biased. They are one of the first gay-owned bookstores that specifically target fantasy and science fiction books. So when I went there, I knew that I had to get a fantasy or science fiction book. Not only that, but a month ago, they had an entire interview session posted on Zoom with Becky Chambers. And the two books that I'm missing from Becky Chambers are A Psalm for the Wild Built and A Prayer for the Crown Shy. I don't know if it's a duology or if there will be more from this series, but it is a novella series that I believe follows a world where humans and robots couldn't coexist, so the robots moved to the forests. It's been centuries since the robots of Panja gained self-awareness and laid down their tools. Centuries since they wandered en masse into the wilderness, never to be seen again. Centuries since they faded into myth and urban legend. One day, the life of a tea monk is upended by the arrival of a robot, there to honor the old promise of checking in. The robot has one question: what do people need? But the answer to that question depends on who you ask and how. They are going to need to ask it a lot. So this sounds super cute, super cozy. Definitely excited to continue this. And that is my independent bookstore haul. Let's just look at the stack. So these are all the books. I'm gonna put them down. Please let me know if you've read any of them. Do you like them? Did you hate them? Which ones should I read first? Please let me know down below. If you would like to follow me on any of my other adventures, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. And of course, because it is the end of the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I tell you every time, but it does wonders for my channel. It makes me feel really good. And that's it. Support your local independent bookstores. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye!